Good evening. My name is Brandon Watson, and today we'll be talking about if people should vote or not. Over this speech, we'll be talking about if they should vote, who is able to vote, and how they can vote. On this topic, I do believe that people should vote if you are eligible to. For example, I know somebody, he believes that voting isn't important. He believes that the government, they choose their candidates and that they put them in their offices and they just use voting as a crowd pleaser to make people happy, but he doesn't think that his vote counts and he doesn't think that anyone else's votes count. So, should you vote? Yes, it is your right as an American to go vote. This country is ran by the people, and if people don't vote, then the country could collapse and then be ran by the government, or maybe potentially by some other country. The reasons why you should go out and vote is, one, it is your civic duty to go do it, and many people have fought to keep this country free, and so it is your responsibility to participate in this thing. Some people believe that their vote doesn't count, and it does. The most recent elections do prove that your vote does count, as in the presidential election and the Senate election. The votes came really close to each other, and if more people would have voted, it might have had a different outcome. And who should vote? Well, if you're a U.S. citizen and you are of the age of 18, then you are eligible to vote. In some states, if you are a felon and serving time, then you cannot vote while you are serving time. But once you have served your time and you're off of parole, then you gain your rights back to voting. In other states, if you are a felon and you are serving time, they do allow you to vote. And so it just all depends on which state you're in. Now, say you are serving in the military and you're overseas, or you're a college student and you are away from home and you're not near your county. You can still send in a vote. You just have to go online and fill out a couple forms to prove your address and prove that you're a student or you are overseas, and your vote will still count. Now, many people, unfortunately these days, they don't know how to vote. They think of voting can be confusing, or they just were never taught and so they don't do it. It is your right to practice voting, but how can you practice voting without knowing how to vote? So it's real simple. You just register to vote, you put in your address and all that, and you'll get a voting registration card. When you go up to the polls to vote, which is usually at your city courthouse, then you show your ID, and some places make you show your proof of address, and they will let you vote. Now, different ways that you can do this. You can vote a straight ticket, which is, say you're Republican, you can just check that mark, and your vote will go straight to all the Republican candidates. Or you can fill out each candidate yourself. So if you don't want to vote straight Republican, then you can vote some people here, some people there. It's not all for the same party. If you are confused about how to do this, you can always ask someone. They're more than happy to help you. And so over this speech, we have talked about should you to vote, and are you eligible to vote, how you can vote, and is it important to vote? And yes, it's very important to vote. It can change the outcome of America. It can make it a better country if the majority thinks that it can. It can put people in office and put people out of office. And that is it.